we're live. Welcome everyone. This podcast is in alpha and may be subject to change. Joining me today, down in the bottom left, is the the long-haired, luscious Big T, also known as Tef.
Yo.
Welcome to the show. And also, not here very often, but he's here today.
Hey.
Hold on, I haven't announced you yet. We have Zif. Welcome to the show. Now you can speak.
Hello. Now I can speak. Hello.
Alright.
Sorry, that Ziploc was in alpha.
Yeah. He is subject to change. We'll be removing him from the show next week. And replacing him. Don't you worry. But yeah, welcome everyone to the show. We've made it to number 8. We've actually had 8 of these in a row now.
How?
I don't know. We'll get to double digits soon. If we make it to double digits, that's like, hey, I don't know where to go from there. Like we've made it at that point.
Presumably 3 digits.
I know, and we're definitely not making 3. Let's be honest. Okay, not making it to 3. But yeah, let's start the show off as we usually do, and we'll look at what we've been playing this week. Which, for me, I guess I've been playing.
Can I guess, please? Let me guess.
Go on. Take a guess.
Is it RuneScape?
Oh, it's close. It's close. It is an MMO. It is an MMO. You are on the right track.
I was certain it was going to be RuneScape.
There is an
Well, then it
R
must
in
be
there.
EverQuest.
No, I've came away from EverQuest a little bit.
Final Fantasy 11.
It's actually, to everyone's surprise, Arcade. I've been playing a lot of Arcade.
Oh.
Whoa. What?
I know.
That's the one MMO I did not expect from you.
Yeah, I know. You'd never guess. But yeah, I've been playing Arcade. Other than that, I guess I played some Crusader Kings. We all played some Crusader Kings, which was a lot of fun. And we need to do more of. Hey,
Oh, yes.
Is anyone down for that after the podcast? don't put that on your live.
No.
But, hey. But yeah, I don't know. Crusader Kings is a lot of fun. I'm probably gonna do more of that on stream just because I need to scratch that itch, that 4x itch, guys. Wait, did you see the flames in Zif's eyes?
Guys, every time Zan's got to scratch an itch, you've all got to watch him scratch it.
Okay. Don't lean into the camera like that. Okay. But yeah, other than that, I played some really fun indie games on stream last night. Which
How much play?
I played. One was called Symphonia, which was this it was a music game. It was said it was inspired by Rayman, which is what the impression I got, and it was by a bunch of French students. Which, surprisingly, it was very, very good for a bunch of French students.
Rayman's a French game.
I mean, hey, there is that.
Made by Ubisoft before they were scumbags.
Yeah, we kind of spoke about Ubisoft last week, didn't we? We spoke about all the issues going on last week. I don't know if we'll go into that as much this week, but there's still more of that going around. Other than that, Symphonia. So
I just keep getting an old JRPG or something.
Yeah, I'm just getting Tales of Symphonia.
So no, it's try on itch.io because you might be able to better find it there. Hold on.
Oh, right, yeah.
I was gonna say I'll send you a link, but then it would remove the cams. But yeah, it's actually a very pretty looking game and stuff.
I've got it,
yeah. I was very surprised that it was made by a group of students. I was like, okay, this is really cool. It's very short for what it is, but I think they are gonna do some further development on it, and hopefully we'll see a bit more to it because I think it has a lot of potential. I mean, the sound in it's good. Visually and stuff, it's great. Yeah. Other than that,
those backgrounds look very Rayman.
Yeah. That's the immediate impression I got, and then I read through their thing, and they mentioned how they were inspired. I think it was in a comment. They said how they were inspired by Rayman when I was reading through it, which was very interesting. I'm also trying to look up the other name of the game that I played last night. That was very good. It was by New Blood. Ultra Kill. I think Zif was there for that, weren't you?
I seen that one. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
very, very cool.
Ultra Kill was really cool. It felt really good to play, and the presentation and like just everything felt good about that game. And it's by New Blood. They were on the PC Gaming Show at one point. They're also doing several other games. I think one of them's like a Thief type game as well. They've got a lot of games like that going, and they're all really cool. So
is this the pixely FPS game?
Yeah. So
yeah, that looks cool. That looks right up my street.
Yeah, it was right up my alley as well. It was like they explain it as Quake meets Devil May Cry, because you have a system in it that has style points exactly like Devil May Cry. You like switch between your weapons and stuff to get your style meter up faster, and you can punch the enemies and stuff. It's kind of really cool, but yeah, I only got to play with it gave you free weapons actually. You got like a minigun as well, which was neat. It had some like neat tricks, like the pistol. You could flick a coin with it, and you could shoot the coin, and the bullet would ricochet off the coin and hit enemies.
That's cool.
But you have to be precise with it, so that was like the hardest ability to use, but it was fun. It was fun and very satisfying to get off. Yeah, that one was super cool. And then there was one more that I played by the name of Biomass, which was like a 2D Dark Souls in like a futuristic post-apocalyptic world.
Sounds very original.
Yeah, it wasn't as great as the other two, but it was interesting to say the least. But yeah,
this looks like every indie Metroidvania at the moment.
Yeah, it was just a 2D Dark Souls from what I played, and I don't know, it was okay for what it was, but you know, it's not something I'd probably go out of my way to play again. Ultra Kill, on the other hand, though, I could play a lot of that.
I don't want to rag on these guys because like I know they're just like on itch.io, and I mean I certainly couldn't come up with anything creative like this. But the banner that they've picked for the website for Biomass, the image of it is like someone standing on the edge of a building overlooking a tower, and it looks exactly like the promotional image for Dead Cells, and the game looks exactly like Dead Cells, and it's just don't do that.
Yeah. That really does look like Dead Cells logo.
I also realized that instead of what we've been playing, I put what we've been having on the thing when I was typing it because I wasn't paying attention. What we've been having
just
this
like
week.
Discussing our lunch.
But yeah, I don't know. I think the point of it was there was this weird lighthouse, and that was the big tower thing, and a bunch of weird drone things were going up to it. It was an interesting world, but it didn't captivate me as much as the other two games, to say the least. But it's worth mentioning. But yeah, that's all I've really played this week. I can't think if there's anything else. Arcade. Would you guys be surprised if I talked more about Arcade?
Probably not.
No.
No.
But yeah, so who wants to talk about what they've been playing next? If anything new? Anyone else been playing Arcade? No. Okay.
Surprisingly.
Oh well,
At least you own Arcade, so.
It's true.
Yeah, have you heard of Arcade? Let me tell you more.
Spreading the word of the Lord.
About our Lord and Saviour, Arcade.
Well, the only thing I've really been playing is I got the Link's Awakening remake for the Switch because I was feeling Zelda, because I don't think I've discussed this on this podcast actually, but I'm just like, I love Zelda. I think we all love Zelda here. You definitely. I think you appreciate my love for Zelda, but like,
I understand.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite game series. Like, I think individually, I don't think any of the games are in like my top 5 favorite games, but as a whole, I love the whole series, and I play Zelda all the time. And I've been waiting for an opportunity to play that Link's Awakening remake. I just wanted it to be a little bit cheaper because how Nintendo games are, and Amazon were selling it for like half of its RRP, so I snatched it up, and it's really good. I thought it was just going to be, like the exact same game again, but with fancier graphics. But they've made actually a surprising amount of changes to it. It's most of it just makes the game easier, when it was already quite an easy game, but that's Nintendo. But they've really thought about how they can um just they've really thought about the quality of life improvements, and it's not just the basic stuff. Like all the reviews are talking about how now you could have loads of like items assigned to all the different buttons on the Switch controller, because on the original Game Boy you had 2 buttons, and so you could only assign your items to A and B,
okay.
which meant that you had to. I don't know if you guys have ever played Link's Awakening at
Yeah,
all.
that's
I
that's
haven't.
one of the few that I haven't played.
Well,
That
okay,
like
you have
Minish
to.
Cap I haven't played.
You really need to play Link's Awakening. It's honestly one of the best ones. It's got like a weird Lynchian vibe, like Majora's Mask does. It's brilliant. But because there's only 2 buttons, you got A and B and the D-pad on a Game Boy, haven't you? So,
Yeah.
so you go into the menu and you have to assign an item to A and an item to B. And because you can only have two items assigned at a time, there's no dedicated attack button, there's no dedicated block button. You just need to assign your sword to one button and your shield to another, which means when you need to use an item, you're going to have to get rid of your sword or your shield. You're going to have to unequip it to make space for an item.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, it's a bit clunky, but there was 2 face buttons on the Game Boy. They did what they had to do, I guess, and it's fixed that now. Obviously, you've got a dedicated block button and a dedicated like attack button, and then you've got 2 buttons to assign actual items to, like all the other Zeldas are. So that's a big improvement, and they all focus on that. But there's more to it than that. Like they've added just nice little additions. Like now you can sprint into trees that have fruit on them, and the fruit like drops down, and you can
Okay,
pick up
yeah.
the fruit and eat it for like a half a heart off the fruit, which is like a nice touch. I like that. Little things that you can tell they've taken from Breath of the Wild. Like they've massively improved the map because they've
I think
added.
you could like I'm sure you can knock stuff out of trees in other games, in the like other early Zelda games. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think. Link to the Past did Link to the Past do that? I don't think it was fruit specifically, but it had moments where you had to use. Was it?
I think Link to the Past had some. I don't think they had fruit.
No, it didn't.
I think no. You could do it in Ocarina of Time as well. But I think that Link's Awakening remake actually got the idea from A Link Between Worlds, because I'm sure that has fruit you can knock down for a few hearts.
Oh yeah, that's one I've missed as well because I didn't have a 3DS.
That's a good one.
That's fantastic. That game.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I only had good things about it, so I need to play that at some point eventually.
It's play. You need to get on all the handheld Zeldas. You're missing out. Honestly, Link's Awakening, I recommend everyone play it, even if like you just play the original. If, like they are. It's so good. It's so weird as well, because I don't know how much you guys know about Link's Awakening, but it's the only Zelda game that wasn't directed by Aonuma, because he was busy working on Ocarina of Time. So he just gave it to a side team to make a Zelda for the Game Boy, and because he wasn't watching over it, they just did whatever they wanted, and it's got loads of Mario characters in it. Yoshi's in it. There's a chain chomp in it that you can carry around. Like there's a chain chomp that like the first village you go to, there's a woman who owns a chain chomp, and it escapes at one point, and you manage to find it, and then you can just like take it around the map like chain chomp on a lead. It's great.
Oh yeah, that's pretty great.
Like, there's like a Yoshi reference, and there's like a little Yoshi doll, and you get it from like a crane game in like a mini game, and it says, "Oh, it's Yoshi. He's popping up everywhere these days," because this was like around the time where Yoshi was getting all of his own games.
Yeah,
like, Yoshi was more popular than Mario at that point in time. It's so weird. In the dungeons, when you go down a set of stairs, there's no multi-level dungeons like there are in Link to the Past, because that's the limitation of the Game Boy, I suppose. Every dungeon's on one level, like it was in Zelda 1. But there are flights of stairs, and when you go down the stairs, you go into a side-scrolling section.
Yeah.
Where you have to do platforming as Link, and there's Goombas down there.
Did not know those Goombas.
It's so weird. And it's like off-brand Goombas as well that don't quite look right. Like their eyebrows just look really weird.
I think hearing about those like 2D parts of it like kind of threw me off when I was thinking about playing the game at one point. I was like, this looks a bit too weird. But do
you know what? They're tiny. They're like 30 seconds long. Those 2D sections. They're basically just tunnels to get you from one staircase to another. But they've decided to make those tunnels side-scrolling 2D sections. It's very weird.
It's kind of bizarre.
But yeah, you gotta play it. It's fantastic. I can't believe you guys haven't, actually, especially you, Zan, because it's considered one of the best Zelda games. I think after
feel like I
Ocarina
just-
of Time and Link to the Past, it's considered the best.
I actually have not heard that. I don't know. I guess I need to play it at some point. But Link to the Past is probably my favorite Zelda game. If I had to pick a favorite, so it
See,
probably
if
would be
is,
right
then
up my
you'd
alley.
really like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would, because it's the next game after Link to the Past, you know, and it's hobbled a little bit by some of the limitations of the Game Boy, but at the same time, it's the sequel to Link to the Past, and it improves on Link to the Past in a lot of ways. You definitely got to play it.
I'll
do it.
give it a go then. It'll go on the list. Yeah. Been playing anything else interesting then, or has it just been a lot of Link's Awakening?
I think it was mostly just that, and a bit Ben of Paradise, but we spoke about that last week when I bought
Yeah.
that. And yeah, but a little bit of Breath of the Wild while I was waiting for Link's Awakening to arrive. What a quality game that is. It's great. You can just dip into that and you can just pick a random direction and just walk and see what you find. And it
Yeah.
kills like 20 minutes. It's great. Like, it can be an epic adventure or you can just dip in. It's so
like
well
the new
designed.
Switch games of like Mario Odyssey and I think Breath of the Wild do it really well, where you can just go on for like 10 minutes and have like one little objective, like I'll just get this 1 star or do this 1 dungeon or something, and you can just hop off and feel satisfied. It's got like a instant gratification to it, which is very nice. It's just very well done.
Yeah, perfectly designed for a portable console.
Yeah.
Nintendo have always been good at that. A lot of DS games were the same.
Yeah, I played a lot of DS games as well. A lot of Castlevania on the DS. You guys know that. 100% of all those games. Know them like the back of my hand.
We were all hooked on Dawn of Sorrow at some point or another, all 3 of us.
Did either of you play Julius mode in that either?
No, I didn't. No.
I never finished it. No.
Listen-
I bought it physically not long ago, and I need to play it.
Alright, like, I feel like I've got to spoil it just slightly, but like, I mean, I feel like you guys probably know, but the boss at the end of Julius mode is Soma. It's great, because he becomes Dracula.
That's cool.
So you have to fight him. It's listen, it's a great game. Okay, I don't care
very
about the whole stylus thing everyone complains about. Listen, you know what? Just deal with it, okay? Get used to it. I can draw
the
those things in my
seals?
mind. Yeah, I can draw them in my mind. I'm like, you know,
Do you know what?
I got that down.
Hot take, it's better than Symphony of the Night. Sorry, it's true.
Oh,
It's just true.
oh, you're gonna
It's
obsess
true.
with people.
I do love Dawn. I need to play it. You're making me want to play it now.
Listen.
You can hear the music in your head.
I know. I can hear
This music's
wizard
so
rap.
Yeah. Oh,
Dun 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 dun. It goes off. It's great.
gonna be great for like just everyone watching has no idea what we're doing.
Tuning in for an acapella, Castlevania acapella.
Oh, we should do a Lost Village a cappella. It'd be great. Listen,
I just always remember jumping down on the van and the snow falls off, and I just found
Yeah.
it so satisfying to just keep jumping
Oh.
on the van.
Yeah.
yeah, I have so many fond memories of playing those games for whatever reason. But even I remember Portrait of Ruin as well. I remember specifically when I beat Dracula in that game, because it was New Year's Eve and it was very close to midnight, and I was like, I'm taking you out before the new year, Dracula. Okay, you may have knocked me down, but I'm getting back up. And I remember beating him with a few minutes left, and I was like, it just felt so good.
Is Portrait of Ruin the Jonathan Charlotte
Yeah,
Charlotte?
yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
That is actually really. I didn't like that the first time I played it, but it grew on me. You know, now I actually really like it. Played for it a few times.
Yeah, that.
I think it was because
It is a
everyone was
little
in
weird at first
portraits.
because of that switching.
I think everyone
Yeah,
being in
that
portraits
too
as
was
well
weird for
threw me off.
Castlevania.
Yeah. But no, it was a
think
fun game.
The thing about Portrait of Ruin is it just takes all of the sprites from Dawn of Sorrow, doesn't it? So I think because they didn't have to do any work on the graphics or the design, they could just focus on the gameplay. So it does feel a little bit tighter than Dawn of Sorrow in places.
Yeah, it definitely
From what I
does in
remember.
places, but it's they're all great games. Just go play all the DS Castlevanias. They're great. It doesn't matter what people say. Listen, you know what? I agree. You know what? Dawn of Sorrow, better than Symphony of the Night. Come at me,
Oh.
Castlevania fandom.
It's so true though. Because it basically is Symphony of the Night, but with
just-
like 10 years of improvements on top.
Yeah, it just improves upon everything. Listen, you know what? Castlevania, come at me. I'll seal you all the way. You know? I'm pretty sure it was like you'd do like a full circle, then you'd be like, come down there. It was something like that. Listen, I remember if I was given the last boss, I could do the whole seal. I'm sure I wouldn't even have to think about it.
What's a Raya of Sorrow like? Is it just like slightly not as good as Dawn of Sorrow?
Raya is really good as well. Graphically and stuff, it's not as great. Actually, some people prefer it because it's less anime and it's got more of the gothic look to it. But I don't know. It's still really good. I don't know. I feel like Dawn of Sorrow just improves upon it though, in my opinion.
How did we get here?
I don't know. What were we talking about?
We were talking about what we've been playing.
We've not played
You
Castlevania
were
this
talking
week,
about how Nintendo knows how to make portable games work in a portable way.
and I
How do
somehow
we get
brought
from
it around to
Link's Awakening to
Castlevania.
How do we do that?
I don't know.
Do you know what though? Link's Awakening's good, but it's not Castlevania.
Oh, it doesn't
As
have
you can
those
tell.
tunes.
I'm a big fan
Well,
of
it
Zelda
does
and
actually.
Castlevania.
Oh, hang on. Whoa. Back up. Zelda's music's better than Castlevania's.
Oh,
Whoa.
okay.
Oh,
I will fight you both to the
bring
death.
out the
on
wizard
that.
lab. Okay.
It's a tough one because they both have some really good songs. I don't know. What's more
Meanwhile, Breath of the
memorable?
Wild, that's like a wind chime every now and then.
Why do modern games have no music? I'm not even going to go on that rant because I will be here all day. But like modern games, just they can't do music anymore, and
If you want to pad the show, okay, you can make that your topic.
it just hurts. It's not even a topic; it'll just be me ranting.
I think it's not even like it doesn't have a lot of modern games that have music. They have like overproduced like orchestras that play for it, so it's not as memorable as older games. Because everyone remembers like Soraya's song, everyone remembers Song of Storms.
It's just that there's no catchy melodies anymore. That's the crux of it. Because now it's just all. Duh.
Duh.
It's true, but it is. And we're missing out.
But yeah, I mean, were you playing anything else this week then, Tef? Or should we talk more about Castlevania? Because I could talk about Castlevania all podcast.
I genuinely didn't play anything else.
Okay. What about yourself, Zif? I mean, got to you, yeah.
Well, it's not very interesting because I've basically not played anything else apart from Paradox games still.
Big
fired
nerd.
up EU4, taking over the world of Spain. It's going well, and that's kind of all I've been doing, to be honest. That and CK2, as you know.
With your boys?
Yep.
Yeah.
I do want to play the Switch a bit more, and now I really want to play Castlevania. Other than that, I plan to get back to FF14, but I haven't actually played it in like a month. But I would like to get back on that.
That's an MMO.
I mean, it is. It's not arcade style. I'm sorry to tell you.
No, it's not. I don't know. You should get back on arcades, Zif. Have you heard about our Lord and Savior? Listen, there's a great event on right now. You get these mythic crates. They have mythic Karam infusions that are like 6,100 XP each. Listen, they're great. You should get on.
Can't. The game hurts me physically to play it. Can't do it. There's too much pain in that game for me now, so it's a bad memory. But yeah,
My God, what
that's pretty
happened?
much it. You don't know, Tef. It's a dark place. Okay?
Where did Dark Age touch you?
Show us on the doll where you were ganked.
And I just want more people to play Arcade with me, guys. I'm all alone playing Arcade.
You've got a whole Discord of people who play it with you.
I say
I say that half of them are like, "What's an arcade?" Including me.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we've got some people from the Arcade community coming on over now from YouTube, which is cool.
Most of them are East, though.
Well, I mean, actually, yeah, it's surprising that I have a lot of East players that watch me. But yeah, it'd be cool to get more people in. I want to do events and stuff in Arcade. But that's not what Zif's been playing this week. Convert them all. I mean, I'm trying to convert you all now. Just over here being like, oh, arcade, the pain.
I've just got no interest in PvP focused games, really.
Listen,
Actually,
it's
I don't
not.
know.
It's. I mean, there's PvP in there, but you can get a house, you can decorate. Listen, there's so much more to it. Okay,
If
run
I wanted to
dungeons.
decorate a house, I'd play Animal Crossing, mate.
Listen, Arcade enslaves you more than Tom Nook does, and that's saying something.
Oh.
Hey, you know what? I'm fine with being a slave to arcade. You okay?
I can see
Tom
that.
Nook's got you by the balls.
Well, I mean,
Tom Nook runs Arcade. Korean Tom Nook.
I'm actually supposed. I was thinking of working on a video for the video contest that they're doing right now. There's another one they've put out. Some like, I probably should get involved. I actually got a DM from the Arcade team today as well, being like, "Hey, we've got a contest on right now. Remember that video contest you were in?" So I feel like no one's entered it or something. So I'm like, hey, maybe I should just actually do it. But I've got a really good idea for it. Because they want it to be a music video. So I was like, I could do my arcade character going down towards the garden area. I don't know if you either. I mean, I say Ivy. I mean Zif. I don't know if you've seen like where the entrance is, because I know Tef's not going to have a clue.
A bit.
But yeah, I was thinking I'll have my arcade character like dance down the stairs towards there, and what I can do is I'll do it similar to Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you know when he first when he turns on the music? I'm thinking I would just do that, and I'll have my character like plug in AirPods or something. For the
video's gonna get taken down.
Listen, I've got ideas for it that I might do. But yeah, I guess that's all we've been playing this week then.
Yeah, pretty much. It's actually, I can think the perfect dance that you'd use as well for the beginning of that.
Yeah. Don't worry, I know exactly what dance you mean. The one where he's like swaying side to side.
Yeah, like skipping left
You
to
like-
right. That would be
Yeah.
perfect.
Swide to swide. Swide to swide.
Did I say swide to swide?
You did?
I'm sure I said side to side. That's fine.
You said swide to swide. I
Listen,
can't clip it.
not on the podcast.
I'm breaking the fourth wall. I'm doing it.
Don't. Jack's not there on the podcast, okay? They're not part of the show. But yeah,
Right, why don't we discuss what all three of us have been playing
what's
together?
that?
What do you mean?
What's- We already spoke
There's
about
only
Crusader
one
Kings.
game.
We already spoke about Crusader Kings though.
Yeah, but you went to we were playing it. Do you know what?
Do we
Doesn't
want-
matter. Go on. Keep talking
do we
about
want-
arcade. Go on. Go on.
Do we want to
Go
talk
on.
about it more?
Oh.
No.
That's fine.
No,
It's
I'm
fine.
muting.
It's fine. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh, so you haven't muted yourself then?
I muted myself on stream. I'm unmuted now.
Oh, for God's
Go on.
Why don't you
Tef,
do a
tell us
job
all.
and-
Tell us all about Crusader Kings. No, I'll sit back.
I don't even know what I want to say about Crusader Kings, to be honest. I just wanted to wind you up.
No. You're the
Face
host of the
up,
show now,
messed up,
Tef.
that's
Okay. Okay, Tef. You're the host now. You
Yeah,
want to take over? That's fine.
My face got really... Right, I will. I mean, I'm written into your will anyway. I'm taking over this channel when you die. When you die. Which may or may not be on the 28th of August.
Oh, thank God. I got something to look forward to.
Percent 80.
I knew you were going to do that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Great minds. So yeah, my face was deformed in Crusader King. I wanted to say. So Arcade, yeah. Arcade.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm also running a cult in I almost said Arcade in Crusader Kings. I'd love to run a cult in Arcade. That'd
You
be
are
great.
running the cult.
Listen,
You are basically are.
guys, I just joined my cult, please. Send me gold. Just gold for the cult, for the dark ones, otherwise known as my bank account. But yeah, the Swide cult. But yeah,
Don't speak to chat.
I'm not speaking to chat. I was just talking normally.
Okay.
I definitely didn't look over a chat.
It's very
Okay,
professional.
you know what? Let's move on to the news. I don't know what we've been doing. All right. So that was what we've been playing this week. That was a good 35 minutes. We managed to pad out. So this week in gaming news, Horizon Zero Dawn's actually got a release date for PC, which is cool to see. And you know what's even cooler? You can get it for, a cheaper price. Or you could if you were to use a VPN. And I believe it was Mexico. People were getting it for a cheaper price. But Sony then hiked up the price because so many people were using VPNs to buy the game for cheap.
It was Argentinian pesos.
Oh, was it? Okay. So that was a really funny story to see.
I mean, funny for us, not funny for the people who live in Argentina.
No,
who are suffering in poverty and now have to pay way more for their game.
Yeah, that actually does suck now that you mention it. Now that I think about it a bit more. But yeah, I mean...
The article that you sent out was actually kind of depressing to read because it was basically talking about how the first world has screwed over the third world with this. Kind of sad, really.
Yeah, I didn't read the article, I'll be honest. I read it. Listen, I heard about it from other sources, and I was like, I know the details. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it does kind of suck. I don't know if there's a way they could even prevent that, which is the issue. Like, I don't know how you can get around people using VPNs to do stuff like that, but I've not had this issue before with other games, but maybe I've just not really followed stories like this before.
I was thinking about that.
Which is interesting. I don't know why it's only become an issue now. I guess VPNs are more prevalent.
Yeah, maybe. It's funny, I think it was only today, actually, that I stumbled across someone mentioning the fact that you can use a VPN to buy things on Steam, and it'll just convert it to whatever price is in that area. It still attaches to your account because your Steam account isn't tied to a region, say, your Xbox account is, or your PSN account. So, apparently you can just do that. And I think people have only just recently become aware of that somehow. Maybe it is just because these days everybody's got a VPN.
Yeah, because, well, we are sponsored by NordVPN now, but everyone seems to have a VPN sponsor nowadays as well. Everyone knows about the big VPNs like NordVPN, the other VPN that I forgot the name of. ExpressVPN, that's the one. But yeah,
definitely a lot more known of these days.
They're all over the place at this point, so I guess that's why these stories are, cropping up more.
I guess the only main thing that could be done is Steam would start region binding accounts. I don't know if they'd even do that.
It's that, or you just put a blanket ban on anyone who's connecting from a VPN server.
I
guess so.
But then, that screws over a lot of people who be using VPNs for legit reasons. So
yeah, it's a hard thing to deal with. I mean, I guess they could just region lock accounts, and then if you really have to change regions, because maybe you're moving to a different part of the world, you have to go through and fill out an application or something to get your account moved over. I feel like that's the only way they could really do it. It's obviously going to upset a lot of people. It's like, now I can't get my games for cheaper from Brazil or wherever Argentina, wherever you're getting them from.
Just imagine being a PC gamer and complaining that the games on Steam are too expensive. Get a Switch, then you'll know true pain.
Yeah.
Actually, now you mention it, sorry Zif, I just cut you off there, but I saw an article mentioning how they want to start increasing the price of games as well with the next generation. Which
I think I saw that.
Yeah, I didn't put that in here, but yeah, it's interesting because people think they're paying a lot now. I mean, to be fair, back in the day it was even more expensive to get games. It's kind of cheap now compared to what it used to be. And now I think they're putting it back up
because it's never adjusted for inflation, has it? That's the thing. It's always been the same price, but it's never adjusted for inflation. My problem with that is I'm not paying, say, £70 instead of £50 to get a game that's going to be loaded with microtransactions to take more money off me. I want a complete experience if I'm going to pay that amount of money, which I know I've said this before in the podcast, but that's why I support Nintendo so much, because you're getting a complete package with them, and they'll only sell you proper full-size expansions as DLC. You're never going to get microtransactions in a Nintendo game.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about how they will even afford to make games in the next generation as well, with how ridiculous games are getting and how big these projects are going to get. Did we just die? Oh.
Oh, I'm losing you a bit there, Zam.
Yeah, I think everyone lost me there.
Is that him? That is him, isn't it?
That is
Yeah.
me. I'm in like 0 bitrate on stream right now. Everything's dropped. Hold on, guys. Should we go to a? We'll go to a. Hold on. Do I need to go to a break? Is it gonna recover? I don't know what just happened, but it like dipped down to 0.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
All right. I think we're okay. Can you guys see me now? We good? Never mind. I went back down to 0.
Your video's lagging behind for me now.
Oh, hold on. Maybe
Like,
we
I can
should
hear
go
you
to.
okay, but your video is like,
Maybe we should go to a quick break. God damn it.
yeah, okay.
Hold on. Never mind. Yeah, we'll go to a quick break. We'll be back, and we'll talk about the rest of the news, I guess, and hopefully this will recover.
The goal of practice is always to keep our beginner's mind. For a while, you will keep your beginner's mind. But if you continue to practice 1, 2, 3 years or more, although you may improve some, you're liable to lose the limitless meaning of original mind. In the beginner's mind, there is no thought, I have attained something. All self-centered thoughts limit our vast mind. When we have no thought of achievement, no thought of self, we are true beginners.
And we're back. Okay, there we go. I don't know what happened there. We were having some weird internet issues, but we should be good now. So,
We are alive.
where were we? We were talking about, Americans coming and stealing pesos from everyone, right? From third world
yeah.
countries.
Horizon.
Those damn Yankees stealing from third world countries again.
Oh, and them looking at like taking the price up on next gen games, right? That was something we were talking about.
Yeah,
You better not do that.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
Nintendo games are so expensive as it is, and for some reason their online store is more expensive than physical. I don't know why that is, and it annoys me.
yeah,
I
I
doubt
find it
that-
odd when digital is more expensive than physical. I feel like surely being able to put out digital means you can make it cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was one thing that you missed in the news, actually. Nintendo took down their. You could buy things you could buy like digital downloads for the eShop from Amazon, and I believe they took that
Oh.
down this week. So now like you have to buy from the eShop, and I think basically they're slowly pushing towards you having to buy into their ecosystem on the eShop, which like you said is far more expensive. Because it comes coming back to Link's Awakening. I was waiting for that to not be £50 because that's the RRP, and
Yeah.
eventually I ordered it physically from Amazon because Amazon was selling it for £35 physical. But then if you go on the Amazon page, and you get to there's like tabs and that you can click digital or physical when you're on the
Yeah.
page for the game. And if I went on physical, it was £35. If I went on digital, which at this point I could still get a download code for the eShop, but because the eShop prices are fixed, it was £50. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they obviously slowly want to get rid of digital games so that they can sell you. Sorry, get rid of physical games so they can sell you digital ones at full price all the time. No sales because it's Nintendo. But
I love it when
honestly,
they send you
Nintendo
a
aren't even the
physical.
worst offenders, though.
Yeah, I love it when they send you a physical copy and then it's just the code inside. That's always my favorite. Whenever you get a game that does
I
that.
hate that so much.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I think I was also talking about how, like, I was saying how the cost of, like, surely the cost of making next generation games is gonna go up as well. So,
Yeah.
I mean, with the price going up, surely that means we could come away from stuff like microtransactions and loot boxes and stuff like that. Loot boxes we'll get into. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't work like that, though, does it?
No,
Sadly.
unfortunately it doesn't. But that's where we'd like it to go. But I mean, some of our hopes might come through. I think I'm okay now. I think.
I mean,
go on.
In order to like segue into another one of our news items, actually, because that's a brilliant place to do it. They might have to raise the prices of games if countries start banning loot boxes. Because I know some have already done it, and now
what country would do
our
that?
own United Kingdom is considering it.
But yeah. So, I mean, the House of Lords have been calling for an immediate classification of loot boxes as gambling. This has been an ongoing thing for a while now. They've been looking at it. I think the House of Commons did a paper on it at one point, and then I remember when they brought in, was it EA? EA surprise mechanics. Does everyone remember that?
Oh yeah. Oh god.
So this has been a thing that's been going on for a while. And I think a lot of people have been advocating for loot boxes to be gone. Because, I mean, does anyone want to play devil's advocate here? Does anyone like loot boxes?
God, no.
No.
Alright, well, I mean, for the people that don't understand the problem with loot boxes, it's more so that it does, for one, it's awful. But also, it does feed people's, gambling addictions. And it is gambling. It has that same hit that you get from winning in gambling when you open a loot box and you get something that you want, which is the issue with it, because it's not even I don't know, certain games I'm trying to think, CSGO, for example, where it's crates, you open them, you get a gun, you can even sell those guns on the marketplace. It's not even simulated gambling at that point, it's actual gambling. So that's
definitely.
That's the big issue with it, and I think that's why it's become something that countries have looked into banning and getting rid of. So we'll see how they go about regulating loot boxes in the UK, because that'll be an interesting case study for the rest of the world, I imagine.
I know a couple of other European countries have already made steps, haven't they, and banned loot boxes. I think Sweden
banned them, didn't they?
Belgium,
yes, Belgium,
yeah, Belgium.
Because now all the big publishers have to alter their games to be sold in Belgium. And I think if enough European countries do it, then they'll just stop doing it entirely because it won't be worth the trouble.
In Europe.
And I think
in America they'll be like, we can still get away with this.
Yeah, but Europe's such a huge market, then it'll, I don't know how effective it'd be if it's just America. Maybe it might end up where we in Europe we might stop getting games, which would be terrifying. But the thing about America is EA will just lobby for it in America, won't they? That's the problem. If someone starts trying to shut down loot boxes, EA will just feed the American government a lot of money, because that's how it works over there. So it's gonna be a lot harder to crack down on over there. But Europe's already making a lot of good steps forward, at least.
I mean, if anything, Noble loses FIFA, so I'm okay with that.
True, yeah.
No more Ultimate Packs. I always thought that was super shady back in the day, but
it's very shady.
God, people were super into those. I don't know, back in sixth form, I remember people just were super into it. Back in school, I don't know, it was a big thing for people that age.
It's still huge.
Yeah,
Ultimate Team.
I don't know anyone that plays those games anymore, but back then I did, and they were all they were all about getting their gold and platinum. I don't know what's Messi's. What's a football player?
It's a huge market. There's a lot of kids that'll just like I've seen articles where they're just like max credit cards on it and stuff. It's just like it's scary, and EA's all over it. All their sports games are just gambling markets, especially NFL in America is insane. That makes loads of money off it because they've got similar transactions with that.
And
What
I'll
will
say,
Konami do?
oh no,
Because their whole business is based on being a casino. They'll go back to just being a casino again.
that's all they are anyway. And
Yeah.
Pachinko, like they're exploiting that loophole in Japanese law. I don't think they care about any other country, to be fair. So they'll probably be okay. FIFA are probably quaking in their boots right now.
Yeah.
But can I just raise one argument, which I've seen online, and I want to stamp it out because I completely disagree with it. People are saying, how is it any different from trading card games? How is it any different from Magic the Gathering?
Okay,
where
yeah, I've
you're
seen this one
essentially
as
paying
well.
for a loot box? To me, I don't understand that, because people are saying it's the same as those card games, so you should just treat it like card games. No, we should be regulating those card games too. Like, you're looking at it the wrong way. Those card games are just as bad. They're just as predatory. It's just they've never seemed as important as this, because something like Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic the Gathering, even at their heights, have never been as popular as something like FIFA Ultimate Team or the V-Bucks and the Battle Passes in Fortnite. You know,
Yeah,
so
I'll raise one point with that as well, though. There is the difference between that as well as loot boxes are digital. These cards are physical items that you own and you get to keep. The digital items that you get in video games, they belong to the company. You don't own them. When they shut that game down, they're gone forever. These physical cards you do have, and you could resell them, and a lot of them do go up in value over the years.
I assumed you were talking about digital trading card games, to be honest.
Oh no, I meant like I mean, obviously stuff like Hearthstone counts, but when people raise the arguments, they're usually talking about Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, with physical I think with physical cards, you could compare that to, I don't know, I guess stocks in a way. You could kind of look at it like the price of the value of a card goes up and down over time, and like you'll see, like, I think right now a big thing is sports cards. Sports cards sell for a lot. They're a really good thing to buy, and they're going up in price right now. And Pokemon cards have actually took off recently as well. So that's something. Obviously, it still has the issues that loot boxes have in that regard, but it does also have the physical element where you can't resell them. So
that's fair.
I don't think it's as bad, but it definitely does have the same sort of philosophy behind it.
But then, on the other hand, as you said yourself earlier, and it's raised in what the House of Lords have said, in a way, when you can trade what's given to you in one of these loot boxes, then that makes it worse, because you can potentially trade that for real life money, and then it essentially is really gambling because you can make money on it. So I see what you're saying, but there is equal opposing arguments really to that.
Oh
so
yeah, I see that. I think with physical cards, this might just be me, but a lot of kids get these, and it's not. You don't think of the real value as a kid. So, but I think with a lot of like CS:GO, especially stuff like that, you know there's a value equivalent to that you can trade on the Steam marketplace, because that's heavily pushed. These CS:GO gambling sites were a massive thing. We had all the issues with that, but yeah, I do understand the argument that physical card games also have that issue. The thing is, you could also buy a specific card. If you want to buy a card, you can go out and get that specific card, unlike a loot box where it's like you got to keep going until you get that one card you want.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, though, the fact that it's also a problem with card games doesn't make this any less of a real problem with gaming.
Oh no,
I
it
think
shouldn't
just
minimize it in any way.
Should be looking at, no, it doesn't mean that it's okay. It means that we should be trying to regulate the card games more too, really. So yeah, I
think it's a valid point.
It's just. I know it's quite anecdotal, but I have worked in a bank, and I've seen what happens when kids who don't, because they're preying on kids who don't understand money yet, primarily, aren't they? That's the problem. And when you do get these kids who max out their parents' credit cards, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen with Ultimate Team and with V-Bucks. They're obviously the most popular loot boxes out there or loot box systems. So something's got to be done about that because it's evil and it's marketing towards children, which is actually already illegal in the UK. And they're just exploiting a loophole here.
They're making it colourful and appealing to all the kids. Look at these colourful guns you can get. Look at how colourful the loot box is. When you
can play as Deadpool. Wow.
Wow, kids. But yeah, I mean, it definitely does do that. I think that's a big issue with a lot of marketing gaming. Like mobile games especially have very much market to children. They try and like the mobile market is the worst for it. If we had to talk about anywhere, because that's been the Wild West for years, and it still
Mobile
continues to be.
Is terrible. It's a really dodgy environment.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely see the point with card games, though. I can agree on that. I think it's good that we're seeing this happen, though. You know, hopefully we'll see, you know, more countries look into this, and hopefully, you know, the UK especially will set a precedent for this for other countries to look at. You know, if America looks into this, that would be really cool. I don't see that happening anytime soon, but
no,
you know,
I don't know.
You never know.
I'm honestly surprised that we're looking at it as closely as we are. That shocks me. But if we're doing it, I'm very hopeful.
I mean, I feel like over here we look into regulating gambling a lot more than other. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, we're good with gambling, but the House of Lords tends to be pretty awful with technology, so I'm amazed that the House of Lords is so on the ball.
Yeah, I mean, every government is just a bunch of old people, so...
Yeah, but especially the House of Lords, it's by definition people who've retired from being actual politicians, so they're all about 70.
But yeah, I think that's all we can really say on that. It's really good to see, and hopefully we'll see more of it in the industry. And bye-bye Ultimate Team. You will not be missed.
Hey.
But yeah, shall we go on to talking about Discord and what it's doing then? That is the next one on the list.
Because this is a point of contention between us, isn't it? We had a quick chat about this earlier today, and I think we're all disagreeing on this a little bit. Well, where's you all? Zif.
Yeah. Go on, you two argue it out. I'll focus the cameras on you two. Pull it both up. Have some like electricity going in between the boxes.
New challenger approaches. Well, I just think I've always said it's blown my mind that they didn't do this years ago. It just seems like such a logical thing to do because Discord. Loads of people use Discord now anyway. It's not just for gaming anymore. It hasn't been for a long time, but Discord just does exactly what Slack does, but it's so much better than Slack. Slack is horrible. It's monetized dreadfully, where they want you to pay a subscription to have a server which has got more than like a couple of crappy little channels, and it's just I don't know why you'd use that when Discord's there and you can use all the server features, well, almost all the server features without paying for the subscription. It just makes sense.
Yeah, to my knowledge, from what I've read about it, all they're looking at doing is moving away from some of the quirky gaming stuff and, you know, appealing more to boomers.
That's actually all they need to do, though, because the technology's already there, isn't it? Like I said when we were discussing this before the podcast, I said that just fork it, make a separate version for boomers, take the Twitch emojis out, and you've got a perfect replacement for Slack. Because I've not used Slack in a few years, to be fair. It might have improved now, but I remember it used to have an app which was literally just a wrapper for the website, and the website wasn't even particularly good. It was just, why would you use that when Discord has a brilliant app for desktop and for mobile?
I think definitely maybe separating it out and being like, here's Discord for businesses and there's Discord for gaming, because what Discord they've been looking into a lot of like public channels and stuff. They've wanted more public Discords, so you can go. I don't know if any of you have ever tried to search through public Discords, and you know, there's ones you can just join that are open to everyone.
Oh yeah, they've been pushing that recently, actually.
Yeah,
keep getting banners along the top of the app about it.
So that's something that I think they really want to look into, and they want to make this more like a place where you can connect with a lot of people and join a lot of other groups. But I feel like if they did separate that out, they'd have, in the gaming version, you know, you could have gaming public groups, and then in the business one, you could have, I feel like it would be a lot of marketing people in the business one. I feel like the weird thing is with Discord is a lot of people don't use it as a public channel. You know, it's either for a specific group of people in like a guild or an influencer. Ugh, that word. But I couldn't think of another word to summarize everyone. But it's stuff like that, or it's like a friend group thing. I think they could definitely push into public group stuff, but they would need to separate it out if they want to appeal to businesses as well, and then as well as gamers as well. You know, have them on separate things. I know, Zif. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think that's a good point, separating it out. I quite like that idea, because I just feel like if they are thinking more on a business side of things, I am just worried that it won't just be marketing, and they may start changing the interface a bit too much, and they may start changing, sort of stripping away a bit too much of the original roots of it. But if it was split, I'd like that a lot more. I think that would make a lot more sense.
What do you mean by like the roots of it? Like, what's like the big concern with them taking stuff away? Like, what stuff do you feel like they'll take away?
Well, I don't know. I can't really think too specifically, but I just don't want them to make it just sort of just strip away all of its gaming roots. I mean, even just when you boot it, it's got like a bunch of
Reticulating splines
and stuff like that. Yeah, unbenching the Kench and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just little things like that, and I think, you know, they've been working on all the screen sharing and all sorts to do with gaming, and I mean, I can still all be there. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I'm just worried if it'll change a little bit too much. But I can only really wait and see what's actually going to happen to it.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait, I see it.
Go on, Tef. I'll let you take.
Sorry, I was just going to rant about how in my work at the minute we're using Skype for this sort of thing, and it's dreadful. And the way I see it, if we just get a Discord going for all the working from home stuff, it would be so much better. Skype, you can't even have a group chat going in Skype. You can't have a consistent group chat. You can start a chat and add people in to that chat like individually, and then it sort of becomes a group chat for like one day. But then once everyone logs off at the end of that day, next day that group chat's not there, and you've got to do it all again.
Skype is
that is such basic functionality.
Like, you should just come in and be like, listen guys, here's Discord, this is what we're using now. And then they I don't know, once you teach them all, they'll be like, whoa, this guy's a genius. let's give him a promotion. Have a promotion.
Yeah. Honestly, it would make working from home so much better, which is why I think they've made the right decision to jump on it right now. And sorry, anyway, Zan, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about Zoom or whatever with the kids now. And I say the kids, the businesses and the kids and whatever. They're all into Zoom. I don't know what it's called. I've never used it. I have no idea
Zoom.
what that's like. Yeah.
What
is it called?
This.
I mean, I think the Zoom, even though it's only been around for like 3 months, it's already got a lot of bad rep. It's been caught doing some shady things apparently, so I don't know too much myself because I haven't used it. But yeah, if you don't know what Zoom is, it basically appeared as soon as the lockdown happened, and it's just because it was a video calling app, and I think it was an easy way to do group video calls, because a lot of services don't like you doing group video calls, do they? So usually like restricted behind a paywall or something like that. But Zoom was an easy way to do it, exactly like Skype. I think Facebook Messenger, I don't think that allows group video calls. I'm not certain. Might have changed that now, but I know only a few years ago it used to be always locked behind a paywall, didn't it? I think even on Discord until very recently it was locked behind a paywall.
I don't remember actually. I know it's definitely a more recent thing. But I don't know.
I think on Discord up until very recently it was on servers you had to have Nitro in order to have a video.
Oh, okay, so no, they never. In servers, they never actually used to have video chat until recently. There wasn't even an option for it. So that's a very recent implementation. It's had video calls for a few years. I don't know how long, because I never really used to use video chat a lot. But I know it's had video chat for a few years at least.
I don't know what I'm thinking of, but yeah, I mean, one-on-one video chat's one thing. It's when you get into big groups, and it was an easy way to connect all your families together apparently, and it had some silly filters, which always helps. It's literally come out of nowhere and exploded during the lockdown.
It was just very well marketed. It came out. They brought it out at the right time. marketed it really well, and then all businesses and schools and stuff started jumping on it. So
Yeah.
it was a
That's
very
it. I think it's
successful.
good for schools too. I think it's got some tools built in that help with that. I think.
Okay, yeah, I don't know any of the details. I just know, again, it was one of those things that sort of came out of nowhere, and then everyone was using it. But yeah, I forgot what the initial point was that we were making. I'll be honest.
Just discussing it's changing direction, Discord.
Yeah, I don't see Discord stripping stuff away. If anything, I think this will just add to it, and it'll make it easier for, other people to get into, and hopefully it'll mean good things for Discord. Hopefully Discord will, turn a profit off it.
I've just realised. I don't know if you guys saw this. I think I spoke to you about it, Zan, when I first got it a few weeks ago. Discord started putting a banner along the top of the app when you logged in, saying if you're like, for lockdown groups, if you're in a book club, why don't you set up a Discord and continue it going in a lockdown using Discord? And they had templates, so you could just use the templates to quickly set up a
so that's one
Discord
of the new
server.
features.
Yes, so they'll probably just use that. When you create a server, it'll ask you what it's for, and it'll build a template. And I'm sure if you want a business one, then it won't give you all the Twitch emojis and all that jazz. But if it is for gaming, then it'll still have all that stuff. That's probably how they're gonna do it, I imagine, because it can't be a coincidence that they've just brought that feature out now.
I'm pretty sure that was definitely part of the push, but I could see it benefiting them more if they separated it. I think someone was also recently talking about how if there was like one company that could get into building a streaming service, it would be Discord. Like if they wanted to build something kind of like Twitch or Facebook, if they wanted to compete in that market, Discord's one of the places that could do it, because they have a lot of users that they could push towards that stuff, and they've already brought out game streaming in servers, which I believe it's only 40 people, right?
Upgraded it. Stream, I can't remember. They've upgraded it a lot, especially over the lockdown. They really upped screen sharing's capacity and streaming. But they recently upgraded it. I don't even know where I saw it. Oh yeah, I think I was looking at Discord's Twitter, and it was like very recently, within a few days, they said they were. I don't know if it's out yet, but they were bringing out a feature that allowed you to watch multiple streams at once. Yes. So they've upgraded the streams feature, and you can watch multiple streams at once and sort of mute different ones. It's like a panel with multiple streams on it. Basically, yeah. So I don't know, it's a little more of a shift in that direction, but the streaming and everything's done really well, so it wouldn't surprise me if they just keep upping it.
It'd be interesting if they tried to break out into that market, because they have the infrastructure there, and they've got a bunch of people they can push onto their like streaming platform, however they end up doing it. They got that in the public groups, so you could see all different streams. It'd be interesting to see them try and break out into that market, but also be a bit weird with them also trying to push towards grabbing, the normies, so to speak.
Well, to be fair, if they're getting more business and stuff on and kept that sort of isolated, that can help them turn more of a profit, and then they can use that to invest into the streaming side, possibly.
Yeah, be interesting. They'd probably do a lot better than Trovo.
Oh god. I'm amazed. I'm amazed you remembered the name of that, actually. Genuinely.
I listen, I'm into my streaming stuff, so I gotta know all the names. Doesn't matter how much money Tencent dumps into that. I can only see that doing well in China. Like, if it even does well in China, I don't know. Who knows? Unless Trovo wants to, hand me a lump sum just under the table, then I'm all about Trovo. But until then, I don't see them going anywhere. Again, I've said this for a long time, but I think YouTube are going to be at the top of streaming at the end.
Oh, here we go. Every single episode so far, you've managed to slip that in somewhere.
Listen,
8 episodes.
I've just, I'm consistent. That's what you should take from that. When YouTube finally wins the streaming wars, I don't know why I'm just imagining like Terminator, but with Twitch and YouTube and Facebook gaming coming out of nowhere, traveling back in time. I don't know, but maybe Mixer will travel back into time and try and fix the mistakes. But
Try and be relevant.
yeah, try and be relevant again. But yeah, no, I'm just consistent. I still think that's what it's gonna be. You can hold me to that when in like five years time Twitch is dead. They won't be dead, but you know what I mean. When YouTube,
if that happens,
supreme.
I'll be missing the podcast that week if that happens. I'll be dealing with your insufferable smug face.
We'll be over on YouTube streaming, and I'll have a wide smile across my face. I told you all.
Be the same. Be no kappas, it'll be the same.
Yeah, that would be the weird thing.
From me.
I think that's a weird thing with Twitch, because Twitch they have this culture built around it that makes it hard for new people to get in to actually watching Twitch, but it also keeps people around because people, they feel like they're part of a community. But it is interesting because we've actually seen Twitch recently hit new viewership records.
Oh, nice segue.
You like that? Do you like that segue? So yeah, I mean, recently they hit 5 billion hours watched. I believe it was something like that, right?
Yeah, that's all me. That's because I've been on Twitch in the last quarter.
That was like Tef came on and then just Twitch popped off. They don't know it yet, but they've got to give Tef a partnership.
Oh, just you wait. Soon I'll have my own channel. If that's what it's called on Twitch, I don't know. I don't care.
But yeah, I honestly think a lot of we've seen these big numbers, but I think a lot of this is inflated because of Valorant and the drops that Valorant had. Tarkov had that as well, but I don't know if that was if that was viewership from that quarter. But I think Valorant alone, we can just talk about that. That definitely inflated numbers because it was a lot of people coming onto streams and sitting around waiting for keys. And then you had people opening multiple streams and people with like 50 devices on, all watching Twitch just to get codes. You had just key farms in China getting codes off Twitch streams. They had like 100 PCs running at once, stuff like that, just their codes. But I mean, it's interesting because Mixer has shut down now as well, so we're gonna see a lot of the viewership start to get spread around, and Facebook gaming's actually grown in market share as of late. They're like, I reckon they're gonna be up to like 10% soon.
Yeah, so it actually includes the figures on the article you sent us to read over. Again, I don't know if you read this or whether you just sent us the article for us to catch up. But it lists the figures. Obviously, Twitch got 5 billion, and YouTube got 1.5 billion. Facebook Gaming got 822 million, and then Mixer got 106 million.
Yeah. So I mean, the actual market share from the last time the numbers were done, I believe Mixer owned 2.2% of market share. That's after acquiring Ninja and Shroud for like 40 million. So
that
yeah,
worked out well.
Didn't work out too well for them, unfortunately, and they got to walk away scot-free with all that money, which is really nice for them. But
Valorant, sorry, again, I'm just going to keep spouting figures from this article. It's actually really good. Valorant was by far the most watched game during the quarter, so I think you are right.
Yeah.
It beat PUBG and Fortnite, which just let that sink in for a second.
Yeah,
but I mean, how much of that time was people actually watching the game, though?
I don't think it was. This is a thing we're actually going to see with Ubisoft's, what's their new BR called that I don't care about? Ultrascape or something? Hyper Ultrascape? Something dumb like that. They're also doing a very similar thing that Valorant did. And we'll definitely see the numbers of them shoot up. I don't know if they're doing it right now. I think they are doing it right now. I think it might be on Twitch. I've not even looked because I honestly don't care. Like, bring out another battle royale. Oh, good. I care. No, I don't know why they're bringing one out this late, but it's gonna shoot up the numbers again. I don't think it'll be as big as Valorant, because Valorant was hyped up for a while. But we're gonna see more and more of that on Twitch. I think and it's gonna cause those numbers to spike, which is why Twitch likes it. I don't think it has a great effect on the platform in general. 'Cause I mean, the Valorant thing encouraged a lot of people to actually just rerun VODs over and over, and the top people were not actually streaming at the time. They were just playing VODs over and over again in that game category.
Yeah, Twitch cracked down on that pretty
They did.
quickly.
They did crack down on that. But I don't know. I feel like it encourages people to come over to the platform, but those people don't stay. They don't stick around. They just leave. It just looks good on their numbers temporarily. And I think Twitch has a really big problem with retaining people that they bring over. I don't know if it's like a culture thing, because people come on over and there's a bunch of people going, Pepe Hans, Magress, and then everyone from like YouTube is like, what the hell am I watching? Just give me my key. But
I mean, every social media is like that to an extent, though. They've all got their in jokes now these days.
I think Twitch is probably the biggest one though that has a bunch of in jokes. Like there's a whole culture built around there.
Yeah, I guess Reddit's kind of the same though, and that gets by. And again, Reddit's actually kind of slowly dying, so it's not quite what it was before.
I've never really used Reddit, so I can't really talk about Reddit. But
never really used Twitch. Why am I here?
I don't know.
Plus, the other big thing, obviously, is aside from it just being Valorant coming on, obviously the lockdown has massively swelled its numbers as well.
That's something we didn't bring up.
To be fair, I don't think that's relevant, because that will have swollen the what? Yeah, well, it would have boosted the numbers of every platform, so proportionally it should still all be the same, shouldn't it?
But I mean, it could also get into like how maybe with Twitch streams especially, you have more of a parasocial relationship with the streamers, and maybe, you know, the more lonely people during quarantine feel a bit more connected, and, you know, helps them deal with it more so than maybe just going on other platforms. So I don't know how the numbers will have boosted with everyone in quarantine, but it's an interesting thing to think about, because Twitch has that parasocial relationship between streamers and viewers, which I don't know if we want to talk about that a bunch. You guys know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, just in general, just the relationship between them. I know what you mean.
Yeah, which I feel like a lot of people on Twitch profit off, which I'm not a fan of, but hey, you know, that's the platform, I guess.
We love it.
But yeah, is there anything else we want to say on the Twitch numbers?
I think so.
Particularly.
Alright. That's fine then. Well, we could take a proper break now, actually, if we want to go quickly refuel. Yeah, I'll go get myself a cup of tea, and then we can prepare for the last hour of the show. So don't go anywhere, guys, and we will be right back with the last half of the show. And we're back. Welcome. You guys can't see anything. I've leaked the DMs. Don't worry about it. I never had you all full screened. But yeah,
it's okay. It's just memes anyway.
It is just a meme, but it's an important meme that needs to be talked about, you know? I mean, it's not wrong.
The ghost of Joel told us we got to talk about Laura Bailey, hadn't we? So.
Alright, well, I mean, it's spoiler.
I think at this point everybody knows, don't they? Because that's exactly where all the controversies come from, after all.
True. But yeah, I mean, we'll just not say, but we'll go around it. You know, no one knows what we're talking about. No one knows who Joel is.
No one has a clue.
But yeah, Laura Bailey, who most of you probably don't know. Let's be honest, you probably don't know voice actors, but she was she played Abby in The Last of Us 2. And Abby did something horrendous that we won't go into details of it. It was gruesome, it's horrible. Gamers around the world need to rise up. That's all I'm saying. But I don't know, some people for some reason seem to think Laura Bailey is the fictional character Abby, whose second name I don't remember. Does she have a second name? I don't really care.
Oh, I don't
No?
think she does.
Doesn't matter. I don't even remember Joel's second name. But hey.
Joel didn't even have one until the second game, actually.
Well, I mean, I remember it being mentioned. I just don't remember what it was. I don't really care. But yeah. Some people seem to think they are one and the same. Much like many other, actors. Like the guy who played... God, what's his name? Game of Thrones. I don't even care about Game of Thrones anymore. Joffrey, that's the one. He got... I mean, did he quit acting? Does he still act at this point? He got so much...
I think he quit it.
Yeah, because for some reason they seem to think they're the same person and decide, let's send them death threats and, be an absolute, I don't know, tool on the internet.
It's just so stupid though, because some of them are doing it because of what Abby does in the plot, but other people are doing it because they don't like the writing in The Last of Us.
Yeah, she has no
Laura
control
Bailey
over
did
that.
not write it.
Yeah, she didn't sit down there with Neil Druckmann and go, Neil, I actually don't like that part where let's put a golf club in there, But we should actually move this part up to the start of the game, actually. I think this is how the game should start. I think it would be very good if there was a lot of... just a focus on this certain character and a golf club. She had no control over that. That's all Neil. That's all Neil being like, you know what, that last season of Game of Thrones was pretty good. I should subvert some expectations. But no, I mean... I don't know what else to say on it, but stop.
No,
not the same
stop
person. Yeah. That's a good motto for life. And you want to say on it, Zif?
That's the life.
No, just completely agree. It's stupid. It's dumb. You gotta split the two people apart. They're not the same thing, and no one deserves that for doing work on something.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like a game, take it to the CEOs. Take it to the people at the top, okay? People who are making bank on these games. Be upset at them.
Yeah, it's like Rose Tico from Last Jedi that me and you discussed on that podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Her actor got so much hate to the fact that they basically stripped her out of the final film.
I forgot about... Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not the actor's fault at all, but her role got completely just shafted in the final film.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't even care about that.
Yeah, so, I mean, she has, one line or something like, hey, guys, I can't join you on that mission. I'm going to work on this ship thing over here. See you later, guys.
Yeah,
and that's all she gets.
She's like, hey, Finn. And Finn's like, oh, come on. She's like, no, I'm sorry. I got to stay at the base. Never see her again. Okay.
And then they give Finn, 50 love interests. Or seemingly. Give him a bunch of love interests out of nowhere. Which
if you'd like to know about Finn's love interests, please refer to our podcast about that film. Our 2-hour, 50-minute nearly podcast. Longer than the film.
Yeah. Where we break down the whole of the film, forget a whole part of the film, and then go back to it and then talk about that for another 50 minutes. It's great. Great podcast.
It's a piece of art, really. It's great.
I mean, hey, the art was the poster I made for it as well. There was some actual art involved.
It's true.
But yeah, I want to do more of those podcasts because they were fun. Just gotta find the right film for it, But I think that's all we need to say on that. Don't send... No, don't send hate to people for roles that they play, because they're not the same person. Just because they kill someone who you really like in a video game doesn't mean they killed them in real life, okay? Just to make that point clear. All right, I think that's all we need to say on that. So, shall we move on to Village? Village, or Resident Evil 8, as we all know it. But Village.
Yeah, we're not meant to call it that, though. Oh no,
I didn't get this at all.
No.
The title in the clearly turns into 8, and now they're saying it's not 8. It's like, what?
They emphasize the Roman numerals 8, and they're like, but it's not 8, as the Village is also a character. It might just be very poorly translated. But I have no idea what that means. All of the big news outlets have been putting out the same story that Capcom are claiming it's not Resident Evil 8. It's Village, guys. Please call it Village.
Call it Resident Evil Village.
Please be respectful.
Like it clearly made a huge point about the letters moving. I don't get it. Why would you do that if it's not?
Yeah, and like you said, Zan, the explanation for it doesn't really make much sense, does it? As he says you could call the actual village another character in the game, and we did that because we would like players to understand that. Which is like, okay, but the subtitle of village already achieves that without dropping the 8 from it. And the only thing I can think of that would make sense for wanting to drop the number is if you wanted the Resident Evils to all stand out as their own separate stories, which I could see why they would want to do that, because there's been issues in the past where the Resident Evil story has gotten too convoluted over time, and they've started to rely on you knowing what happened in previous games and things like that. There was a big issue with that in like the early 2000s, in like the sort of GameCube, PS2 era of Resident Evil. I can see why they'd want to step away from that. But then that doesn't make any sense either, because this is a direct sequel to Resi 7.
Yeah. It's actually the conclusion of Resident Evil 7 is how they've been.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like when he was saying, that's what I interpreted it as when he was saying it's a different character. I thought it meant like it's a bit of a side story. It's like it's not. It's literally a direct continuation of Ethan's story and Chris's as well. So it's like, what?
Yeah. Did you get to see Chris shoot Mia or Maya or whatever her name is in the face a bunch of times? That's in the trailer. That's not a spoiler.
Chris.
Listen, I just want to see Chris punch some more boulders, He's not in his prime anymore, but I reckon he can punch a boulder right there.
He's like Logan Chris now. He's at that point.
Oh, no, don't say that. Oh, that's a spoiler for Logan. Logan's been out long enough. But who knows what will happen to Chris at the end of the game. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know.
It's interesting though. I can't wait to play this. What they're showing in the trailer seems really interesting, because the fact that they're framing Chris as a villain makes me think about how he was working for a company that was called Umbrella in 7, and they tried to tell us that it was just a coincidence that they were actually an anti-terrorism group that took the name of Umbrella and repurposed it. But now I'm wondering whether that's a red herring. Because it just seems like a strange coincidence that he's suddenly shooting up all the protagonists.
But at the same time, it could just be them framing it that way. It could just be the game starts, he shoots her a bunch of times, and then, she doesn't die because she's actually still, like, got a part of the infection or something, and then he gets pulled into their team or something like that, and that's how he gets thrust into the new adventure. I think that could be...
I could see Capcom doing that.
Yeah. It could just be them framing it from the trailer, but we don't know anything. But what we do know is Village is the name of the game. Please don't call it Resident Evil 8. And the Village is a character. It's very unique. And it has emotions. It has feelings. So please call it by its name. Be respectful.
I wonder whether we should be taking that metaphorically, because a lot of horror stories turn the environments that it's set in into a turn character. But at the same time, with Resi, you never know. It could be literal.
Yeah, it could.
They could actually make the village sentient. You don't know.
At the very end, all of a sudden, just the whole village will just try to consume you. And then, Chris will come out of nowhere again and just punch you. And it'll be great. That's how I want the game to end.
Chris just punches the castle off the hilltop down into the sea.
I couldn't even.
What's if?
I was gonna say I probably couldn't even handle the game because I'm just a wuss like that. But I just love the look of the castle in it. I just want to go through that castle. It looks fantastic. It
does look really cool. It's very Resident Evil 4. It just gives off that vibe.
The entrance is like the original mansion as well.
Okay, with the 2 stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually couldn't remember.
They've used that motif a lot now.
Yeah. I feel like it's in every Resident Evil game. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
It's like a mansion. You remember when you loved that?
It is. It's such a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Doesn't it look a little bit like the mansion? Like even the house in 7, the Baker house, which is completely different.
When you're in the hall.
It's like a
Oh.
Louisiana ramp entrance from the stately home. Oh.
We lost you for a second.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Sorry. So yeah, it couldn't be any different from the Spencer Mansion in terms of design. But when you're in the main hall of the Baker House, it's got the two staircases and it's got the little like sort of bridge that connects the two over your head as you walk through the hallway. It's yeah, they do it every time.
I mean,
And I
they
know
like to
that
carry
it's
stuff
just
over.
pandering to nostalgic old fans. I love it. I love it.
Like
And
the
I know
shotgun
that,
puzzle
I know
as
that
well.
they're just getting into my head.
The shotgun puzzle in that game as
that
well
was
is that's just right from the other Resident Evil game. Like that's it's
that
just
was
a lot
too
of
much. They literally copied the same puzzle from Resi 1.
yeah. But hey, I was like, I remember doing this. But no, I'm
They do
hoping.
like to bait you with nostalgia.
What's gonna be weird about the new one is it's got werewolf zombies now. It's gonna be very different to 7 because they look a lot faster. And from 7, there was like the sludge men, whatever they were, that were just super slow.
They were made of mold.
Mold men. Bunch of mold men.
They were awful, honestly. As
They
like
were
the
awful.
standard enemy.
Yeah.
They were, so I'm
They
glad
were-
they're changing it up.
Yeah, they were very uninteresting, but it'll be change of pace considering, it was very slow and you had to like, I don't know how they'll go about it. I don't know if you're gonna get a lot. It's gonna be more action orientated.
I don't think the standard enemy in any Resident Evil game so far has been fast moving. Now that I'm thinking about it, because even in 4, 5, and 6, with that different type of zombie that was the Plagos zombies or whatever, they still moved slowly, even though they had guns and had a lot more intelligence. They still moved slowly. So it'd be interesting if they do go for a more fast pace style.
It might just be that there's like infected villages or whatever, and then there's also occasionally the werewolf zombie or something. I don't know. We've got no idea where this game's gonna go, but we do know that the village. We do know that the village.
That's what it is.
Is a person.
Respect it.
Respect the village. Yeah. And yeah, hopefully Chris comes in with some like new knuckle dusters and just punches the castle down. It'll be like they'll be called like the Albert knuckle dusters or something. And that's how the game will end. It'll be great.
That already just whips out the dad bod and just hits the village with his beer gut.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it anyway. It's Resident Evil, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good either way.
It'll be so good. Unless it's Resi 6, suppose.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that one.
No, we don't. That had so much potential as well. I feel like it had a lot of potential, what it wanted to do, but didn't execute very well.
Not at all.
But yeah, so I guess we can move on from that because we also have Microsoft renewing the Fable trademark to talk about, which is interesting. Which because I don't know what they're gonna do. I feel the last Fable game was it a tower? What was it again? It was a weird one, wasn't it? It wasn't a tower defense. It was like a dungeon crawler or something, wasn't it? Does anyone remember?
I can't remember.
You guys know what I'm talking about, though, don't you?
Yeah, I do remember it was out there. It was like a strange spin-off. I can't remember what it actually was. Fable Fortune.
I think it was like Dungeon Land, where there was like one person who was like the dungeon master, and then there was a bunch of you had the other players play the adventurers. It was like an asymmetric game that you.
I don't think that was Fable.
Are you sure?
Fable had a Hearthstone knockoff called Fable Fortune.
No,
I'm
sure they had something else. I'm sure they had something else like that because they did a bunch of weird stuff with Fable. I didn't actually know about the Fable Fortune one. I didn't know about that.
They did a lot of here we go. Yeah, they did an action role playing game using the Kinect. I forgot about that one. Fable the Journey. That was that was just a kind of on rails Kinect experience, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what the one I'm talking about is, but I'm sure that was Fable. I don't know when that came out or if it came out. It might have been a cancelled project for all I know. I kind of want to look that up now. But it'd be nice to see a new Fable game, like an actually good Fable game, Something closer to Fable 2. Like I
we
feel
loved
like
Fable 2 when it came out. All three of us, I think.
I think weirdly that was a game that everyone in our friend group were really into. Like everyone, even like outside, like even like mainstream people, the normies were into it as well. It was
a pretty huge game.
Yeah, which is weird to think back on, but Fable 2 was a lot of fun. I didn't play Fable 3 that much. I played a little bit of it, but I never really got into it. So I don't know if you guys.
It wasn't great.
I remember it had
twice.
It had like a weird thing halfway through. If I remember, there's a weird twist or something. But I didn't really play it, so I can't really say.
Save the world mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
It basically just plays like an expansion to Fable 2, and it does throw in that that new save the world mechanic where it thinks it's being quite deep, where you've got to make decisions to like save people, but that'll cost you more money, or do you let some people die and keep the money? And it's meant to be like a morality choice, but like a lot of things in Fable, it's not as deep as it thinks it is. It really fell flat. Yeah, Fable 3 was not good.
Yeah, I think I've nearly completed my second playthrough. Because they all advertise about being a ruler, but the being a ruler was such a tiny part of the game.
Yeah.
And it was just these tiny few decisions, and every one of them, it was like, oh, you can be a nice person. Except if you actually want an ending where the world doesn't just die and be wiped out, you had to do most of the bad choices. Otherwise, you would never get enough money to protect the world. So even when I wanted to be a good person, it's just that like all life got wiped out. So that was nice.
That sounds
great.
It
was weird.
By the way, that game was called Fable Legends. It's cancelled. It was a cancelled game, so. So they announced the cancellation and the servers were shut down April 2016. So yeah, it was like an asymmetric dungeon crawling game, which I guess Fable Fortune came out after that, but I'd never heard of Fable Fortune. I guess that completely flew under the radar for me, which is no surprise because it doesn't look very good. But it'd be nice to actually see them bring out like a Fable game that was, built on all the promises that good old Peter Molyneux made with the original games. It'd be good to see something like that actually come to fruition, because it's a really cool
just
concept.
Any half-decent RPG, honestly, at this point. It's been 10 years since we've had a mainline Fable game.
Yeah, I'd definitely, just love to see something like that again. But yeah, what were you going to say about Fable Legends? What were you going to say?
I can't remember. Couldn't have been that important.
Yeah, it's probably not that important. It's a cancelled game. It's not that important. But no, I do miss Fable.
I think I was just going to say it'd be nice if they actually did a mainline game instead of all these weird spin-offs they've been doing for the past 10 years. They're wasting the franchise.
It is a massive waste of it. I kind of want to go back and play Fable 2 now, That'd be a good one to do on stream at some point.
Yeah, it's quite fun. I replayed it again recently. It doesn't hold up great in some areas. Does feel a little bit simplistic nowadays. Because I know that was a complaint at the time, but especially now it feels really simplistic. Because it felt like a huge world at the time, but when you go back now, you see that it's just very, lots of small areas. And, very linear. Lots of loading screens, and the menu lags. My God, when you try to open your item menu,
I do remember that. Everything took so long in that game with the menus and like loading times.
Yeah, but I never forget that the magic of the demon doors. They were the best part of the game.
Oh, they were.
The creepy house that goes changes into a nightmare when you turn around. Oh my God.
And the terracotta army.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so creepy.
I remember there was one like in a mansion in like the first sort of city that you go to. There's a mansion you can buy, isn't there? I think there was one down there. I'm trying to remember that was.
The castle. Yeah, there's one in the castle grounds.
That was it. And then there's one where you get a house from actually going through the door. I forgot what you needed to get through that door.
That's the one with the windmill and the amethyst hammer. That's where I used to live.
Yeah. Oh, good times. I mean, maybe we'll see another mainline game one day. I don't know. Hopefully. We can dream. I mean, Microsoft are gonna be announcing some games for the Xbox Series X, right? Which is very soon. I actually don't have the date. What was the date for that again, Tef?
23rd of July.
So, I mean, we'll probably who knows what we'll say. I mean, hopefully new Fable game. It's the timing kind of syncs up, but it's all speculation.
Did
Yeah,
say
yeah.
new RPG.
It would,
Yeah, they do actually say there's going to be a new ambitious RPG project.
please,
Yeah.
please be a good Fable game.
I mean, it's yeah. Actually, there's on Eurogamer. There's an article that they've linked to in the article about this new stream that Xbox is going to be doing. There has been a leak, or like there's been sources, rumors,
Yes.
down the grapevine saying that there's going to be a new Fable.
Have the rumors
I
told
really-
us
I
why
really
Doctor
hope so.
Disrespect's banned yet, or is that not part of the rumors?
I don't- It's fine. You can go to Mixer. It'll be fine. It'll be all right. It's funny how, according to these rumors, it's going to be given to Playground, who make Forza Horizon of all
Yeah.
things. But I think they're the only
Yeah.
UK development team that Microsoft has, and it's got to be made in England, Fable, or it just wouldn't be the same. So that'll be
Or
interesting.
it wouldn't be the same.
Well, it wouldn't. It's such an English. I mean, it's the world is called Albion. It doesn't get any more English than that.
True. What if we had an American version of Fable? Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, imagine like
that
Hollywood
humor.
version.
It'd be the American version of
so-
IT Crowd.
Oh,
Oh,
god,
no.
that's no.
Yeah, I just checked and they've literally only developed the Forza Horizon series and nothing else. So
I mean, if
Yeah,
that's the
so it'd be
studio they
interesting.
go with, it'd be weird. I don't know. I'd like to see what they do with it. Anything at this point that's a mainline game. That'd be nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else Xbox
Wait.
would actually announce game-wise. Halo. I don't know what else they've really got that's interesting to me.
Finally
Yeah.
get some info.
Yeah, Halo Infinite's actually confirmed for that show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm hoping for new IPs, honestly, because all
Yeah.
the old Xbox ones are just awful these days, including Halo, sadly. Sadly.
Who knows? Maybe Infinite will be good. I've heard good
I think
things.
it's going to turn it around.
Yeah, I've heard people hyping up Infinite and being like, "This is going to be the game that brings it back." But I don't know. We'll see.
There's a lot of things that really do hint that it's going to be quite a turnaround because there's a lot of things that hint that they realize were terrible in 4 and 5, especially the art design. They've completely reversed to how it used to look because everyone hates the art design.
I'm skeptical though because all the same things were said when Halo 5 was coming out. So
Yeah,
Oh,
that
in fact-
was very.
even Halo 4, everyone said the same things about Halo 4 because 343 made Halo Anniversary first, didn't they? And they didn't do a great job of that. Or like they had, well, I think Saber did a lot of it, but 343 were involved, and that was the first game with 343's name on it, and that wasn't particularly good. People go, "Oh, it's okay. That was just their first try. I'm sure they'll get it right with Halo 4." Halo 4 is
Yeah.
fucking awful. It's awful. So I'm skeptical. I hope
It'll
you're right.
never be
Really
the
do,
same.
but just-
I mean, hopefully Infinite does something with it. I don't know. We'll see. We just have to wait and see what happens. I don't know. Is it going to be a full show? Is it something we might want to stream? Do coverage of live
That
on
is
the air?
true. Actually, if it's got Infinite, I want to be there. It's just the Halo fanatic.
Yeah, you won't be there for any of it. You'll come in the second Halo pops it and just like scream down the mic and be like, "Oh, Zif's here now."
Yeah, I scream, that's Steve from Book 7. Oh, he's an amazing character.
You can be there to explain what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have actually leaked one massive thing to do with the plot. Well, not leaked. They confirmed that, but that they've confirmed who the
Is the Master
enemy
Chef
is,
in it?
basically. But that's about it. No,
Yeah.
no Master Chef.
No Master Shit.
You probably
Not
don't even,
Halo.
if it's anything like 5, you probably don't even play as Big John.
I think they'll fix that terrible mistake as well. Hopefully, because Lark is the worst character ever.
I mean, I didn't play 5.
Oh.
I've got no idea what that was like.
You don't want to. I think I broke down the whole plot to Tef at some point, or I meant to. It's the worst thing in the world.
No, yeah, you did. It's not great. Do you know what? My only experience of Locke is the scene in Halo 2 Anniversary where they've retconned him into Halo 2, and
Wait,
I
what?
hate him just for that. I hate him
They
because they've
retcon him
wedged
in?
him into Halo 2. Oh no! Okay, can I have this rant, Ziff? Because this is
Go for it.
I
'cause
hate this. I need this.
This
I
made
need
me
this
rage
rant.
when we played it.
I did not know this.
So they've added a new cutscene to the start of Halo 2 for Halo 2 Anniversary, where Locke is there, and Locke is speaking to the Arbiter, and he's speaking to the Arbiter about the fact that the Arbiter switches sides, which is something that's meant to be a big twist halfway through the plot of Halo 2, but they have a really boring opening cutscene of like Locke and Arbiter just standing in like a dark room just talking to each other, and they discuss the entire plot of Halo 2 before it happens. So
Why?
if you're playing Halo for the first time now, if you've never played the classic Halo games and you pick up Master Chief Collection, Locke just comes in, someone you've never seen before. This random bloke comes in and spoils the entire plot of the game you're about to play, and then you don't see him again.
Why?
Why?
And it's in Halo 5's awful art style, and it's before any other cutscene at all. You haven't even seen the Arbiter. You haven't even seen him lose his armor or anything. It's the first thing that plays, and then it ruins the best part of Halo 2. The schism is just supposed to be really emotional. It's got some of the best music in it and everything. You're seeing all the elites are dead now. It just spoils it all.
And it's the most central plot point of that entire game. And they spoil it at the start of the game before anything else.
I don't even understand.
Halo 3.
I don't. Why? Just why? Why'd you put him in there? What reason do you have?
It's just so pointless. I don't understand. I really don't understand why he's got to be there. Why Locke?
I had no idea this was a thing. Like, why Halo 2? Why put him in a dark room with the Arbiter? Like, why any of this?
They are literally just in a gloomy room, standing there, not even like sat down having a conversation properly. They just stood there like, yes, Locke. Let us discuss the events of Halo 2. It's so strange. I hate it.
I don't even know. I don't know how to process that.
I don't understand how they thought it was a good idea. I really don't.
This is some like George Lucas level retcon.
It actually is.
Well, this was Halo 2 anniversary.
Lock shot
Halo
first.
5, so I think I don't know if they were trying to. Oh, look, it's Locke, because I think in that cutscene is the one. I think it ends where Arbiter's like, "You were." I can't remember. He's like, "I was sent to assassinate you once," or some garbage. And I don't know if they were just trying to be like, "Hey, everyone, get ready for Halo 5." But it's the worst decision ever. It's terrible.
They did something which I cannot stand and I cannot abide, and that is they've retconned the original trilogy there, and they're starting to add their new lore into the old lore. And no, even if the new lore was good, I wouldn't want you to do that. Don't try and tie them together, because you're just going to screw up the plot that Bungie created, and they put a lot of time and effort into making that plot watertight. And now they're picking it apart and just ramming Locke into the middle of it all, and it's just...
I find that bizarre. There's no good reason for it. I don't know. Listen.
Honestly.
So I mean, what else do we think that we're gonna get from the Xbox Series X?
Probably Forza Horizon 5 and Forza 8, probably. Because Forza's the only good series Xbox has going for it at the minute.
Maybe we'll get a Blue Dragon free, Who knows?
Was there a Blue Dragon 2?
I don't know. I think there was. I think there was. We looked this up at one point.
No, there wasn't.
Was there not?
Oh, I think we can say we definitely won't get any more Gears, because we've had Gears Tactics and Gears 5. So, yeah. I think that series is cold at the moment.
Calling out Blue Dragon 2.
Produced. I thought they had a sequel.
I thought it got another game as well, but apparently not. That's fine.
About Blue Dragon. Wow.
We're getting another Blue Dragon game and another Condemned game.
I want another Hexuk. Does anyone remember Hexuk?
I haven't. Well, Hexuk. Hold on.
No.
It came free with your Xbox. Okay, well, but like early Xboxes. I don't know how.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, mate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Hexuk HD.
You know what? We're getting 1 vs 100. That's what we're getting back.
I really miss 1 vs 100.
It was the best decision. One of the best decisions they ever made. It was so fun, and then they just scrapped it.
It was like a whole beta thing, wasn't it?
I really miss. I want them to bring back the poker game with the avatars from Xbox.
Oh, Full House Poker.
Full House Poker.
Yeah,
Full House Poker was so good, man.
I played a lot of that. There's some good memories playing
actually
that.
bankrupted myself in that game. I played poker so badly, I got to a point where it's like you have no money to buy into any game at all.
Oh, I had like all the chip tricks in that game. I knew them all. I was having a good time.
You were very good at that game.
Yeah, I mean, I've played a fair amount of poker in my day. What can I say? But yeah, I think we lost Tef.
Oh, Tef's dying.
Oh, the plague got him. You okay? Do you need a moment? What happened?
He's come down with the smallpox again.
He's dying? Is he
He's gonna
dabbing?
lose his face next.
Did he just dab
There
off
goes
screen?
his face.
What is he doing? Okay, we lost Tef. Moving on.
All the core position.
Gentlemen?
Do you want to explain yourself, Tef?
Yeah, I just breathed some water from my pint glass.
Oh,
It's
okay.
nothing to worry about, don't concern yourself.
Did you mean to dab off screen? Because it looked like you dabbed off screen.
It was meant to be more like a sort of dramatic grasp, but yeah, it kind of did just look like I went. Which would have been an excellent exit.
All right. Well, I think we could speculate all day on what they're gonna show, but there's one last news topic. I don't know, Zif, you said there was a couple you found as well, but we are like
I
at
had
the 2 hour
two
mark.
timing things I saw.
We are over the 2 hour mark, but you know, what do you want to talk about those real quick then?
Yeah, they're very fast. First one especially. First one is just that I saw Valorant is aiming to put in 6 agents by the end of the year.
Oh yeah, I've
which
seen
I was not
this.
expecting, to be honest.
yeah.
I think that they're aiming for like 6 a year, right? Well, currently.
Yeah, I was.
So they'll probably up it next year, I imagine.
I don't know if it's going to get to the point where it gets silly and the abilities just get too over the top, but I don't know.
I mean,
Uh,
it'll end up like League. You just go in, you don't know what's going on.
Oh,
Like-
League is insane.
At least it doesn't have skins yet, so I don't go in the game and be like, oh look, it's that champion. I'm like, oh wait, no, that's a completely different champion. Never mind. Done
Yeah.
that many times in the league.
I mean, it's true.
There's the danger
Uh,
with it's like
Yeah.
The second one is funny. Have you seen the news about Crucible, Amazon's game?
Oh yeah, did we speak about that last week? I could have swore we spoke about this, Tef.
I don't. When we were spoken about Crucible on the podcast, I don't know what the latest news is.
The one that they're going
God,
back into beta.
Oh
They
yes,
released
no.
the game.
Did we talk about that
I think
last
we might
week?
have spoke about this. I think we talked about this off stream, privately.
we?
Actually,
Yeah, 'cause I was here last week.
I could have.
yeah, I don't think we have spoken about it.
Okay, yeah. Well, they're going back into beta. They're reverting the
Yeah.
release, which is amazing.
Unreleasing the game.
It's fantastic. Much like Final Fantasy XIV did, which Zif didn't know about.
Somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's only the second time I've ever seen that happen, because it is Final Fantasy XIV did it, because that was so bad, and also this. But yeah, it's funny. It's really funny.
I mean,
is.
we did talk about how they took out like all the game modes, but the main game mode, and we're like, we want to focus on this game mode. That was the message they put out. When in reality, the game was dead. No, it got no popularity, and now they're having
What
to
game mode
bring
did they keep?
Hive something. I forgot what the name of it is, but you had to like control a bunch of hives to win. It was that was the main game mode, but I don't know what'll happen in this game. It's gone back into beta. Who knows when they're gonna release it again? You know, maybe actually market the game this time. That might help.
Imagine that.
It's kind of interesting because it's an Amazon game, and Amazon are not really in the advertising business, unlike companies like Google. Like they're a product based company. Like they want to sell you stuff on Amazon, which is also why it's interesting that they own Twitch, because the purpose of having something like a streaming site or YouTube is to like market and to advertise and sell, like actually sell stuff off to people, which they don't really invest in, which is also why I don't think I feel like YouTube could put more into, well, Google could put more into YouTube, and Amazon might not care too much about Twitch. But no, it's interesting because I don't know what the
Why didn't they push it onto Twitch?
I don't know. That's what's bizarre. Like, they have Twitch. They could have pushed this game hard on Twitch if they really wanted to. To be fair, I did. Actually, no, it wasn't even. I was about to say I saw Shroud play a bit of it. Shroud's not even on Twitch. He's on Mixer, or he was on Mixer when it existed.
That's a twist, isn't it?
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know why they're so bad at marketing that. Like, no one heard about it until it like came out, did they?
No.
No, it just.
Yeah, that was really strange. That whole thing. It really kept it under wraps. It's like they didn't want us to know about it.
Yeah, New World is the only one I've really heard about coming out of Amazon, which is their MMO. Which
Yeah.
does it come out? Is there a beta for it this month or next month or something?
Oh, it is
I'm
very
not
soon,
sure.
isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean
think it is
that.
this month.
That's one that might do a lot better. I hope so, you know? I would like to see more cool
interesting.
MMOs. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
new MMOs in this day and age is always interesting because it's in such an odd stage in its life, isn't it? That genre, really. Where it's like not quite dead, but it's kind of on life support, and it's being supported by just a small amount of MMOs. So anytime a new one pops up, I'm always really interested to see what they do.
I think it does. I think MMOs do okay, but the problem is there's always there's the top MMOs that dominate that market, and they've held the crown for so long, and no one, there's so many companies that have just given up competing, and most people are like, you know, if a new MMO comes out, they don't care. They're not going to play it anyway. But I think New World and Ashes of Creation, I believe it's called, are like the two big ones that I'm looking at least, and I think they have potential to do something. I don't know if nothing's ever going to beat out WoW. I don't think we're getting a WoW killer. It's not 2012 anymore. We're not all looking for the next big WoW killer. But
Yeah,
I think
if we couldn't do it in 2008, we're certainly not doing it in 2020.
Yeah, I see those MMOs doing well potentially. Because I mean, there's still Black Desert did really well. I don't know how it does now. I know that had a lot of pay to win issues or something. There was some issues with Black Desert from what I heard. But
it's very Asian, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Korean MMO, so it's very much it's very grindy. It's very much like Arcade and MMOs along those lines. But what was cool about Black Desert? They had the whole the combat was like a fighting game, so you had to put inputs in to do your abilities and your combos, or you could just do 1 through 9, I believe, as well. But it was based around using combos to make it more interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah, it had a few interesting systems, but yeah, New World. I don't know how that'll do. But yeah, Crucible is pretty funny. I don't know what else to say about it.
Oh, bless it. They're trying. Not very hard, but they are trying.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we didn't have to crunch for that one.
Certainly hope not.
Yeah. But
So, we
last
need to
story.
make a correction about. I don't know if this is the story you're going to talk about because there's actually 2 left on my reading list.
Was it?
But we need to make a correction, don't we, on something that we spoke
there is
about
10.
last week?
Yeah. So Crash 4 doesn't have microtransactions, according to. Well, according to them, they insist it doesn't have microtransactions. Still not to say they won't come in further down the line. They might not just slip them in there, after launch. But they're insisting it won't have microtransactions, which is a good thing. Hopefully that stays the case. It's Toys for Bob, right? What's the name of the
Yeah, Toys for Bob, yeah. That's it.
So, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that, but, we've got to correct ourselves and make sure we, that's our official statements. There will be no microtransactions. That's not to say they won't go in further down the line. But that's me speaking, not the company. Just
yeah, I'd never trust Activision, honestly. Which is a shame, because I do think Toys for Bob are pretty cool. They did a really good job of remastering Spyro, but it's Activision, and, they pulled that really sly stunt with Crash Team Racing, so who knows?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, we are like 2 hours, 15 minutes, so very quickly, there's one last story for the week. The creators of Westworld are actually, or well, some of the people that worked on Westworld are working on a Fallout show, which I believe is going to be on Amazon. So
Yep. Prime Video.
that's going to be interesting. I don't know, that means it's going to have a fair budget pushed into it, and it's the creators of Westworld, and Westworld is very good. I don't know.
You like Westworld, don't
I
you?
do. I like Westworld. It's very good. What is that? You don't like Westworld?
Not great. Not sure I trust him with Fallout, honestly, myself. But okay.
How much of Westworld did you watch?
I think I watched like a season and a half of it. It pulled me in at first, but then it just kind of went a bit mental.
Second season goes a bit mental. Third season is also a bit mental, but it's also great. Listen, I'm all about it. It's not Mr. Robot. It's not the best show in the world like Mr. Robot. Let me tell you about Mr.
Get
Robot.
out of here, you Mr. Robot. No.
Go on, Zif, what were you saying?
I was just going to say, I really like Westworld. I haven't seen season 3. Season 2 it started a little slow, but it did get good in the end. But yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to do on this, but I know well, to me anyway, they're quite competent, so I hope it does well. Especially since Fallout as a series has been awful lately, so it'd be nice to see some good Fallout content. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I actually trust those guys to write a Fallout story better than Bethesda can.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll use real canvas bags.
Oh, it'd be great if they managed to find a way. It'd be great.
I'm dropping out again. Well, it would be good though. Always nice to get a little crack at Fallout 76.
No, any importance. Gives me life.
It does, there's not been a story to laugh at Fallout 76 in a while. There was like a good run of stories that kept cropping up where we could all laugh at Fallout 76, and there's not been one in a while, which is kind of disappointing. But hey,
Yeah, I'm getting withdrawal symptoms.
That's probably for the best, though. Alright, so I guess that wraps...
I'd rather forget it exists.
Yeah, I think that wraps the show for the night anyway. We went way over time by like 20 minutes. But, Tef, we'll start with you. Do you want to tell people where they can find you on the World Wide Web, also known as the Internet?
The World Wide Web? What year is it? My God, man. I am on Twitter as Teffers. Go there. It's the only place I really exist online, honestly. So go there. I usually just, I don't know, reblog like articles that I like, or reblog pictures of retro gaming consoles, because I'm just a massive boomer and care far more about gaming in the 90s than I do about gaming now. But yeah, I'm on there, and that's about it. I do occasionally write medium articles, but I don't have one at the minute. It's just another way to talk about video games. But yeah, they'll get plugged on my Twitter when I do put them out. So follow the Twitter.
All right, and Zif, what about yourself? Where can the good people in chat find you?
The good people can find me at Ziflock on Twitch, where I am kind of inactive at the moment, but I'm also Ziflock on YouTube. I've renamed it. Apparently I could just do that. So it's just Ziflock now at the moment. I don't know if I'll change it. But I am working on content and working on trying to get a lot of Paradox, a big drive for Paradox content. So hopefully that is on its way soon. So those are pretty much just the two main places you can find me.
All right, looking forward to seeing those Paradox videos. Got them in the pipeline. So
they are.
And if you don't know me, which you probably do if you're here, because you're on my channel right now, but it's Zanrise on Twitch, Zanrise on YouTube, Zangames on Twitter, The Real Zanrise on Instagram, and that's about it. So thank you for joining us, everyone. I am going to try and work on getting these podcasts elsewhere eventually in like a more audio format, if that's what people want to listen to it on, because I know there's been a few people that have mentioned it. So we're going to try and get that underway. And hopefully I'll do that before we get to the 10th episode of the podcast, which we're not far off. We're getting there. But yeah, thank you for joining me, everyone. Thank you, Tef and Zif, for coming on by to join. And yeah,
Thank you.
we will be back next week. So next Monday, the 9th episode of the podcast. And you can also catch me and Tef on Thursday, hopefully finishing off Jack and Daxter. So we'll see you then. And until then, thank you for watching, everyone, and we'll catch you next time. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Farewell.